Okay, let's move on towards game 2, first half of JP versus FL for day 3. It's gonna be Naiad coming out from Natsuki's side. Natsuki is gonna be subbing in for Molly. It's gonna be FL, MCO, Umpi, Kish, and Monopi right now. For Naiad to be playing on this map, it's a little bit hard, honestly. It is a little bit hard, but I guess for our Prospector side right now, whether or not Prospector decide to bring Flywheel or Windows, they both counter Naiad quite a lot, so first harpoon, we may need to wait a little bit before we actually decide to throw out that first harpoon. The first harpoon most likely will be thrown out by the time we actually get towards the factory. And it's more or less going to be likely that Prospector is going to be rotating to Factory too. Now, Female Dancer is in middle, so Naiad could potentially go after Female Dancer first. But the only issue with going after Female Dancer really is the fact that, yes, you may be able to break music boxes, but the moment the Survivor knows Forward's going to start decoding immediately, Prospector is also going to start decoding immediately. And I do think for Aeroplanist, you're not a hunter that can afford to chase after arrow. You really aren't a hunter that can afford to chase after arrow here. So this is going to be quite hard for Naiad. We're moving on towards the game immediately here. Let's see who our first target is. Umpi crouching in, well, crawling in middle, walking in middle, hiding footprints. Forward already on the Cypher machine. Meanwhile, our Prospector is already on the run right here. Okay, Natsuki, we're going to be able to throw that out, but it seems like we do manage to see Prospector. MCO right now probably decides that it's most likely one of the better ideas to actually come in here. Dropping the pallet down would be quite important, but it seems like for Prospector right there, ooh, we didn't get a hit over, but it was a pallet stun. That is really bad. That is really bad. Prospector kind of blending in towards the background there, so Natsuki didn't really see. But even with that on mind there as well, we're trying to see where the Prospector is. That's going to be the slow music box there deployed immediately. Double, is that double? That's double slow music box. Well, no, that's a single slow music box in the middle, but that one slow music box is more than enough. We're not destroying it. But the Cypher machine, double 50% Cypher machine, and Prospector's containment, it's about more than enough, honestly. It is about more than enough. He does have 2 more magnets left on his hands, and even with Naiad here, you can just, I would suggest you dropping down the magnet when Naiad throws her harpoon back, but I guess that's fine too. Flywheel's still being saved. Flywheel is still safe right here. Slow music box still in middle. And middle shouldn't be locked for so long here. So Prosy shouldn't be too afraid. Really, he shouldn't be too afraid of... That's a nice pushback. That's what we should have done a little bit earlier. But the Flywheel did come in a little bit earlier than I expected it to be. But at least we got the blink out. Now, there is no basement. There is no basement. And we do have Aeroplanist with Tighturner. More than Aeroplanist Tighturner here. But it's a 3 Cypher machine decoding progress. So, not the best. Not the worst, but as honest as Kick can come into decode, that's probably, no, the rescue, that's probably all what matters here. It's going to be really hard for you to be able to actually get any moisture on towards an Aeroplanist. He has hover left to use, so could potentially hover in immediately for the rescue. And Aeroplanist on his way in right now. Forward definitely will continue to harass later on, but it seems like we are going to be able to crouch to... Oh, hey! That's a turret shock. Guys, that shouldn't have happened. Like, especially when you were running in towards the chair, there's no way she would have been able to get any moisture onto you, so you shouldn't be that afraid of getting the rescue. That's an after half rescue. That's a forward nearby. Aeroplanist needs to somehow struggle free. We need, it's all to... Forward did not get a body block, but Forward is not able to get a burst as well, which is good news. Bad news here is, it depends on how long, like, MCO needs to run, but even if he runs here, he's going to get spotted out by Naiad immediately because of the air hunt too, so that's quite a bit of an issue right here. We did manage to put the pallet down. Okay, Forward should be coming in. Oh no, Forward can't come in. It's too risky for Forward to come in right here. It's really too risky for Forward to come in right here. But if we decide to break the slow music box for, that's a whole different story. Are we gonna pull? We're not gonna pull. Mono deciding not to pull here. We're deciding not to pull here after half rescue. 3.5 Cypher machine. No, we're missing 1 full Cypher machine currently, and Aeroplanist is a no-go. Aeroplanist is a no-go chase right here. I'm a little bit of a questionable Aeroplanist rescue, especially with the fact that he was already in towards the corner right there, so Naiad couldn't really get any more moistures on him, except for that puddle that was already created. But then, like, that goes up pretty slow when you're near chair anyway, so he shouldn't have been too hasty there. Shouldn't really have been too hasty there, especially with the rescue. That terror shock was huge on Natuki's side. But I guess it is a game at the end of the day. We don't have much to use there. Forward's going to be forced to come to rescue once again. But at least that 64% Cypher Machine is currently being decoded by our forward. You could potentially have Aeroplanus coming in to decode that Cypher Machine, but Aeroplanus is the one with Titaner right now. Forward trying to finishing off that Cypher Machine. He has a full ball, so he can by technicality pull a full ball in. If he really needs to do so, he could do that. But right now he's running away from the Cypher Machines. It's a bit bad. If you're running away from the Cypher Machine, it's a bit bad. 3 survivors remaining. You have 2 Cypher Machines left, and it's going to be Aeroplanus here who's going to finish off that Cypher Machine. Potentially speaking, we could be aiming for a tie. That's still a hit over the pallet. Potentially speaking, it could be a tie, but it seems like we're not going to be aiming for that anymore. Naiad running back towards that chair here immediately. It's going to be after half, but Aeroplanus does have tie turn here, so I do think Aeroplanus has to use his hovers right now to make it towards that chair. He has to use hover. He cannot walk there. Kit has to use hover. If he doesn't use hover there, it's going to be really bad. He uses hover, it goes into cooldown immediately, and then he can come into rescue when forward gets a Cypher Machine primed. 80% Cypher Machines not for the Kish. Where are we going? We are leaving. Fennel Survivor is playing a little bit weird. If Fennel Survivor is playing really weird right here, by technicality, you can't finish off that Cypher Machine and then immediately use your jetpack to come in for the rescue. So you kind of force the, you kind of force the survivors to rescue anyway. But also forward not coming into rescue immediately was a little bit questionable as well. Yes, you could potentially speaking rush that Cypher Machine, but even with that in mind, if you decide to leave, they're going to be sold to after half anyways, and like Natuki can force a hit on you. They still haven't used Blink. They clearly still haven't used Blink. So then like after half rescue, they blink immediately and then go straight back towards the chair. That's really bad. It's either forward should have went into rescue early, or they don't do anything, but that's crows popping out immediately from our Aeroplanus. Aeroplanus seems like he'll be going straight in towards basement to rescue right now, but this basement is... you can just hit one and go after the other. It doesn't really matter. This is going to be a slug game here for Natuki. Naiad done a really good job. Huge job here from Naiad. Huge job here from Naiad. But forward is not going to be going down just yet. But our main target here definitely will be forward. Blink. No blink used just yet. Blink will probably not be used here then if that's the case. We're going to be able to get that. We are looking for forward here once again. That's going to be dash in forward, goes down immediately. We're going to go out and look for the Aeroplanist. It's going to take a while for Aeroplanist to actually... No, you'll probably be able to find Aeroplanist pretty fast here. It just depends on how fast. Okay, no moisture pops. Deciding to go straight towards middle to have a look. But Tinnitus has disappeared, going back here, realizing that Tinnitus is actually back inside. Natuki is going back into... Okay, they disappeared once again. Natuki can probably understand where they're... Force shouldn't have used up self-heal there. Force shouldn't have used up self-heal there. That's really bad. The only issue with that is Force shouldn't have used up self... Look, I don't understand these decisions. Because Force should be using up self-heal right after he leaves, or after Naiad leaves, not just when Naiad comes in and sees you. It doesn't work like that. If Naiad, genuinely speaking, chairs you there, Aeroplanus could get dungeon immediately. Immediately, he could get dungeon right there. Even though there's a 5-second wait, but Natuki isn't close enough. She's not close enough here. Naiad isn't close enough to be able to actually make it towards dungeon within 5 seconds. So on that side, it's going to be a formal animation. We'll be moving on straight towards second half here, because forward's just going to get bleed out, and then we have crows, and that's a formal animation. Moving on to our second half. Okay, let's see here. Second half, it's going to be FL versus JP. We're going to be seeing... Entomologist in the middle is a little bit questionable for me, but we are going to be able to see that mercenary spawning by the entrance to Big Bow. Meanwhile, Acrobat is going to be at the entrance to Emperor Runes, and of course, that they're spawning by the factory gate. Hasha coming out as Bloody Queen. It's going to be second half of FL versus JP for day 3, game 4. This is day 3, round 4, game 2. First, the second half. Still can't do that properly. But anyways, Hasha here, format eliminating, honestly speaking, as BQ is a little bit hard. But we are gonna have to see at the end of the day, aren't we? We are gonna see at the end of the day how this actually comes out. Because, like, I guess really for survivors here, they could all have flywheel, but even if they don't have flywheel, like Antiquarian, Acrobat, these two characters may get countered by BQ, but these two characters can also counter BQ. So it's just a 50-50 by this point. Really is just a 50-50 by this point. It's like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't want to be screaming, so please don't do anything weird. Please don't turn this into a formal elimination. It's a BQ, guys. It's a BQ. Like, unless you make the worst mistake making it into a formal elimination, I'll be crying here. But it seems like we're going to be looking for the Acrobat here immediately. Nakamura on towards the run. Entomologist is currently rotating away towards the outer side. It seems like it's not a bad decision making here, because it's only Mercenary who's decoding right now. And Acro is going to be able to get that Tinnitus pop, but even with that Tinnitus pop here immediately, Hasha not realizing where the Acrobat is. Acrobat's still nearby. Acrobat's standing behind that window, so if we had a quenching effect there, probably would have been better. Acrobat's low vaulting in right there, and seems like we're going to be able to see Hasha leaving the vicinity right now. Okay, everyone in their respective areas. Antiquarian not decoding just yet. That's the best option here possible. Same as Entomologist, because even with that in mind, right, the moment they're caught off guard there, BQ 1 mirror, 1 hit, it seems like Antiquarian is going to be the first one to get caught off guard here immediately. We don't have a flip, but we are going to be able to get that flywheel out here immediately. That's good news. And of course, the media 5% movement speed boost is not going to help you get out of the way. As we said there before as well, you're gonna need to hide pretty well against BQ. Unless BQ gets that mirror out, you're not allowed to decode. That's kind of the rule of thumb right here. But Antiquarian shouldn't be crouching there. Blue sticker on the ground, but it seems like Hasha is going to be losing where Antiquarian is. We are going to be able to see where Anti is right now, but we're going to be able to go over. Thank goodness me. Where is Entomologist bees when you need them? Ento, your bees! Entomologist, your bees! Jesus, Blinken, okay, 1 minute 40 second containment, 100 second containment here, it's gonna be trumpet attention with wanted order, alongside wish, mischievous and berserk here. But Ento should have been moving bees there. Ento needed to be moving bees there, especially with the fact that BQ counters Antiquarian to a certain extent. Ento should be moving bees right there. Entomologist not getting hit, thankfully, but Ento, your bees have to come in right now. It doesn't matter what they do. They need to stall for accelerated decoding. Entomologist needs to get the bees in. And this Antiquarian is not going to be able to do much against BQ. Antiquarian is not going to be able to do much against the BQ. You need to get the bees in. Entomologist not getting the bees in. A little bit unfortunate here. 6 seconds on towards the next mirror here. BQ also maintaining a really good distance from the Antiquarian. And we're going to be going for a mini pause here immediately. Meanwhile, for our spawns here, we're going to be speeding it up here. Going back immediately. Sees where Antiquarian is. And there's no bees, even though 3 Cypher machines done, but it probably would have been better if bees were there, but we didn't really get the flip over, so that's the unfortunate side. Now then, it seems like it's going to be a tie game for now. Everyone's currently saving their items. Mercenary is going to be able to pop off that Cypher machine, which Entomologist was making, but wanted order on Mercenary right now. Mercy could be 1 mirror, 1 down here, but that's going to be highly unlikely because of the fact that we do have elbow pads. And the last 2 Cypher machines here remaining. If Survivor really wants to tie this, they have to sell here. If you come into rescue now, there was no point if you wanted to come into rescue now, you should have Entomologists come into harass for first rescue. But we are going to be able to see Fireball on our BQ. That's a 4-second cooldown. Antiquarian still having Shtiks, which is the good news. That's going to be a very nice pushback there. And Acrobat needs to get healed. Right now, they all need to get healed. Entomologist seems like she'll be rushing the Cypher machine instead. 3 seconds remaining on towards our next mirror. Seems like for BQ here, we want... Oh, very nice flywheel. But that's still a hit down. Okay, not good. Not good here. Not good here. But it will still be a tie game. It will still be a tie game. From whatever I was saying earlier on, I kind of wanted them to win this as well to gain a little bit more points, but with that 1 down, Entomologist decoding in the middle, a little bit scary here. Last 4 Cypher machines, let's see, 2 by Emperor Runes, 1 in middle, and I do think the last one is where Antiquarian is, so the Cypher machine is pretty far away from each other, which is good news. 50% Cypher machine middle isn't too bad as well. Meanwhile, Acrobat, very nice, very nice control there, with locking BQ where she was not able to move, and of course, Entomologist in the middle. A little bit of a scary area to be in, but I don't think we can decode the Cypher Machine anymore. We need to leave out immediately. Mercenary is still at full health, but it's okay. Mercenary isn't afraid of you. Mercenary isn't afraid of you. Acrobat's gonna run in towards the inner depth of Emperor Runes. Meanwhile, Mercy on the other hand, we are going to be able to get that mirror out, but Mercy isn't really that afraid of you. That's quite a bit of a long mirror there. Mercy isn't activating his elbow pad as well, so he is probably very safe. Entomologist back in middle here though, knowing that the mirrors has been used, it's going to be a free 15-second containment, and of course Entomologist with Flywheel once again shouldn't be too bad. We're currently decoding through 2 extra Cypher Machines, well 1 extra Cypher Machine for endgame, because we need to be able to give as much pressure here as possible. Nakamura on the other hand though probably will be forced to Flywheel here, which is not bad. We are still waiting. We're not going to be able to get much Sally, but you get the bees in now, it's a little bit too late. You should have been doing that earlier. Probably should have been doing that earlier, especially when it's anti-current too. Anti-current Entomologist, we know how good of a combination that is. Anti-current disarms, and Entomologist can just put bees in between a certain area, which it forces the BQ to just walk through, because disarm means you can't hit. I mean, it's a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is now. We still do have items for endgame though, which is not bad. Tie game here can definitely be guaranteed, but I guess for Ento is just not at the best place as possible. Ento really just isn't at the best place as possible. Cypher Machine at 60%. Ento can probably leave the area, because realistically speaking, right, Ento's wasting a bit too much bees here. She could potentially just leave the area and go somewhere else, but like all these cancellations from the bees are very nice, but she's still wasting bees. Oh, we didn't get a hit there, but that's a Flywheel forced. Can we buy enough time for endgame is a good question. Charge attack hit, the managed to register right there. Mirror is currently in cooldown, but ooh, that's another very good bee. Oh my god, the recalls of the bees are insane right there. But the Cypher Machine is primed. Cypher Machine is 100% primed right here. We're going to get ready for endgame. Mercenary close towards Moon Gate. Meanwhile, Entomologist is going to be by Factory Gate. Okay, Nakamura, that's holding the ball there immediately. Very nice ball pull. And, I mean, even with this on mind, right, they're going to be able to guarantee at least a 1-man escape, but I think Acro can probably continue here for a relatively long time. We're trying to play mind games, and with the blink down there, let's congratulate the tie. Okay, Ento seems like she's decided to forfeit, F-O-R-F-E-I-T. Is that forfeit or forfeit? I don't know. Listen, whatever pronunciation you guys use. Entomologist currently rushing straight towards the exit gate. We are going to be able to get that mirror on the wall. Entomologist is a little bit of a scary area now, but Mercy can come in for the rescue. That's fine. Mercy can come in for the rescue, that's fine. There is currently a Mercenary running straight towards that area. We notice where Mercy is. We're going to look for Entomologist right now. 60 seconds remaining on the clock. Now listen here, right, if Entomologist here can contain until there's like 30 seconds left with detention time, it will be huge. Reason number one being the fact that oh well, I don't think that'll be happening anytime soon. Oh wait a second, oh never mind. Okay, I know there's no bees. I'm just thinking, should we be looking for a rescue here, or no, we can't rescue. If you chair in the middle, you can't really rescue. So let's congratulate the tie here for JP Survivors. Moving on towards game 3, shall we then?